I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
You know, unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. Played in the NFL almost a decade. You played a long time. We've been around it for a long time. And oftentimes, young players, especially, and I'm going to go here, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league. They come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into the league saying not, how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here's what they come in saying. They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this.
Yes.
And it won't be the last. And it bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player. They come in, and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them.
They look at it as football.
This ain't football, man. This is a billion-dollar business.
Yes.
It's billions of dollars. They pay us a lot of money to talk about the game. So imagine what they pay these guys to play the game.
Yes. Yeah.
They play a child's game and get paid a king's ransom. And it bothers me because I saw a quarterback do it. I saw Jamarcus Russell do it. The #1 pick in the draft, they gave him $40 million and he threw it down the damn drain because he didn't take it seriously. And it bothers me because there are a lot of jobs like this around. I'm going to tell you, I've been retired a while. It's not a lot of jobs like that around where they will pay you millions of dollars for virtually 6 months of performance. So my message to Dwayne Haskins, not just him, but the rest of the young players in the NFL, man, this is a game, but take it as a business. There are billions, with a B, of dollars at stake. And until you start approaching this game that way, until you start coming to work saying, you know what can I do to get better today? What can I do to make sure my teammates are better today? How can I put my organization first instead of my damn Instagram? Take it as a serious business, but too many times it's a game. We want a TikTok. We want to do all these different things. Man, do you understand how much money is at stake?
Booger was spitting that real shit. It's okay I always will tell brothers and sisters, make sure you get that money. But before you do that shit, establish your resume so when you do get asked for that shit, it makes the transition a lot easier. Like Askins, nigga, you just got in this motherfuckers. You are in no position to make any type of demand or do shit like that. Like, that's what I'm saying. When you care about the game more than the bag will get there. It will be there, but you got to produce first. Like, when Lamar's rookie contract come up, I guarantee you he's going to get some real paper. We got to break the bank for him because you know why? He's established and he's not, he's a leader. He knows how to, and he's good around he got a locker room. You got to be able to beat that kind of stuff. Like, right. Unfortunately, a lot of niggas nowadays is worried about clout more than actual, like, brand. A brand, for them, they just want to get, like, in their mind, all the women, like, all the like Juju.
They want to be in the
club. Juju was the nigga, like, the TikTok. It's like, yeah, but Slim, look at your team. Your team getting their ass whooped, and they punking you. And it's like, dog, that's the shit that bothers me because it's like, yo, you have an opportunity to be in a league where literally thousands of brothers do not get the same opportunity, and you're blessed to have this, and you niggas is worried about what you look like.
See, it's a difference to me with football, cause y'all don't be wearing helmets. I mean, well, no, cause y'all do wear helmets, so niggas don't really see y'all faces a lot. So y'all gotta do the extra shit to draw the attention. Y'all gotta, if y'all not balling out, y'all gotta do like the antics, the dances, the extra elbow pads and wristbands and shit, just to look sweet, so y'all can have some type of attention.
Right.
But with the NBA, between the not wearing helmets, so y'all always on the cameras, the guaranteed contracts, the public contracts, the NBA players, their thing is more so just like, like my money's guaranteed, so I'm going to. The more you ball out, the more you get paid.
That's right.
So I don't really think that's a problem in the NBA as far as like. I think everybody wants to establish their brand, but most of the times guys be worried about winning more so later in their career. Cause you see James Harden, perfect example. Like he stayed in Houston when he had opportunities to go other places to win. He could have stayed in OKC. He could have stayed in OKC with Russ and KD, but he wanted the extra money.
Yeah.
So like early in your career, you're trying to get the bag. You're trying to get your money. You're trying to change your family's life. You're trying to change everybody's life.
Right.
But then once you have your money, once you made your hundreds of millions of dollars, now you like, so I want to win.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be James Harden that scored 30 points every year.
Right. But it's not catch-22. It's a 50-50 because it's like, yeah, when they get older, but by that time, sometimes it can be too late. Niggas be like, hey, dog, you at the end of your career, like you not at the position unless you're gonna be a role player.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll give you a perfect example. Like you said, football and basketball are different. Like football, Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl only one fucking time. I guarantee you, Dan got a bag. But I guarantee you, he would trade half of his bag to just say, I got a ring, a Super Bowl ring. So for the young people out there, focus on the game first, the lifestyle. You're already in it because you're paid already. I ain't saying you set for life yet, but you gotta, if you work hard on that, stay healthy, stay fit, keep your nose clean, stay off the field issues, off the court issues. Keep yourself right. That's how your brand will speak for itself due to your actions and your character. I ain't saying you gotta Uncle Tom it up.
Get your money.
Yeah, get your money too, but at the same time,
if you ball out the way AJ's saying, if you focus on your game,
yes,
you're gonna get your money.
you're gonna get your money.
Just don't act stupid.
Just don't. In a perfect story, AB. Look at AB.
Yeah.
He the best receiver, but it got to his head, and then he had to get humbled. And now look at it.
If you look at AB's numbers, he like Terrell Owens,
Yes.
Laws type numbers,
And
but he not looked at the same way because his shit is.
But now he got a chance again.
Yeah.
He's on a squad and he's playing humble ball, and he gonna get a bag next year. If the Bucks get to the Super Bowl and they win that shit, he can go anywhere else he wants. They will. They going, by the way. Yes,
They going to Super Bowl?
They going to the Super Bowl and they gonna win that whole fucking
You
bag.
call that?
Huh?
You calling that?
I'm calling
I just
that
want to
shit.
say, I remember when
I've been saying that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't, AJ. When you first got,
I was mad.
You said it's going to be a startup year. This is before AB came and that other wide receiver game. But you were saying that they not going to make the playoffs.
No, I was mad how we did Winston, but when I saw what was coming, I'm like, all right, we're going to win this thing, and we're going to win. We're going to beat the Saints bitch asses, and we're going to beat whoever wins between the Rams and the Packers. We're about to win this whole fucking thing. Quote me on that. Be right back.
What happens if you lose?
We won't.
Look, man, if they see us there, it's over. Cause y'all defense ain't ready for us.
Bullshit.
Y'all defense ain't ready for them
Bullshit.
Yeah, I tell you that right now.
Bullshit.
I tell them everything I love, man. Them niggas some hoes.
Fuck. All right.
That's how we treated Chase Young.
We're going to go to
I want Tom.
Y'all definitely ain't treated
we're gonna go
Chase
to a
like
break.
no
We're going
hoe.
to come back with more Ish Talk.
We be right back.
I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place.
Welcome to
like
another
you.
episode of Ish Talk TV, live from the DMV, doing it how it's supposed to be. I'm your host, B Moore, aka Princess Zamunda, and we got a good show for y'all tonight. Again, we're talking about toxic relationships, and we're talking about Dr. Dre and trifling baby mamas. But first, we're going to introduce our lineup. We're going to start first with
Okay, it's
my
your boy
cousin.
Champagne Ron. You follow me on Instagram at @301KingRon.
AJ Turn Up, aka Buff Curry, out this joint right here, and I would like to introduce y'all.
Some of the special
Yes,
guests.
our special, wonderful guest. We have Dr. Rochelle Thompson. I gotta read down her credentials. You guys. First of all, we're gonna put respect on the.
Put some respect. Put some
Doctor
respect.
of Psychology.
Doctor. Yes.
She is a published author.
Yeah.
She's also a philanthropist, a DEI consultant.
Yeah.
So basically, a well-educated sister, y'all. So shout out to you. We salute you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
very
so happy
much.
to be here.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Let's talk about it. Ooh,
Definitely.
So-
some good topics tonight.
So are you taking any clients? Because we all need help. We all need some help.
Yes.
I am. I'm accepting clients. So yes.
Please.
Which I need help with. What's going on?
We
They hiring?
we We need help with employment.
Yeah, we need
Jobs.
We need employment, psychological evaluation,
Oh my
my psychiatrist
goodness.
every 2 Tuesdays.
Okay.
physical therapy.
No, that's not me, but I can get you to somebody.
But recommended reference to your doctor. Y'all not y'all.
We got the network.
You got the network. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Can't help you with that, but I know someone who can.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's
We
me.
need help and prayer.
Yes, because it's a struggle right now.
Yes, it really is. It's just hard out here, so we appreciate you, doctor.
Okay.
That's it.
So,
All right.
Look, you got to start off with take 2 pills and call me in the morning. Do something.
Have you ever said that to somebody?
no.
She ain't that type of
Wait,
guy.
no, we need. I wish we could go back to them days where that shit could just take 2 pills and call me in the morning. That shit worked. Like, thanks, doc. Well, that's what we need. It can if Biden and them just say, here's 2,000 until the end of the year and call me in the morning.
2,000 to the end of the year. Fuck no.
2,000 a month?
Yeah, maybe a month.
No, that's what I said. 2,000 to the end. 2,000 a month to the end of the year. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
different.
Now, if he did that weekly, that's the greatest president of all time.
Well, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully see that, but I doubt it.
Me too.
Y'all still ain't get y'all other $1,000.
I did.
The 600?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I'm gonna say $1,000. You got $1,000?
That's right. We gotta take that up with the president.
I ain't getting shit.
Yeah, I didn't get any.
You know, I got a bill. that always. I feel like Ja Rule's and Ashanti's always on time plays every time in the mailbox, man. Cause they ain't never late for that shit. Always there when you call. Them bills are gonna be there on time.
For sure.
Oh, goodness.
They gonna be like, the sheriffs are out waiting on you, baby. Get you. I'm telling you.
Yo, I heard like places in Atlanta, like the evictions, like in apartments, they're like crazy.
Yeah. It's everywhere. Shit, that's everywhere.
In Maryland, they started back in December. I was just, you know what I'm saying, I'm fortunate that I didn't have to miss any payments. Like, I know some people had to, because it was tough on a lot of people out here.
Mr. Turner,
What the hell
I
are you talking?
understand that it's a pandemic, but when we'll be expecting payments?
Yes.
Look, yeah,
You
look.
can expect it all you want to.
You can expect it tomorrow.
Right. I'm to the point where I might start an OnlyFans. Shit.
Oh, but there was this article talking about
Right.
how women are now starting OnlyFans to pay their bills.
Yeah, I get on Twitter
And they lit.
every woman, but isn't that like oversaturated market?
It's
Cause
definitely oversaturated.
if you ugly, then you just need a GoFundMe.
Does ugly really matter nowadays?
Yes.
Does it?
If I'm gonna be hurting, I need to see something pretty. I don't need to see something I can see at the office.
I don't think it matters.
There was
It
an article that's out now saying that the people that basically that OnlyFans is getting dried up by more popular like entertainers are going there now. So average hoes, not Joes, they're getting
savage.
wiped out.
Well, because compared to for some reason, average hoes are Joes.
No, I'm not even gonna say that because I know like a lot of like I know girls who like women who have OnlyFans that aren't doing what y'all think only because that's not what OnlyFans is for.
We know.
But
Yeah,
like
taking pictures of feet, right, Ron?
No, they like cooking on there.
Yeah.
But it's women that I know who I've sent you their OnlyFans and that's what they doing on there.
I almost subscribed.
I know, yeah.
I almost so.
No,
It's your fault.
Nah, she's
Shout out to her.
She's getting her dub from
She's
me.
still single?
The article says jobless, selling nudes online and still struggling. OnlyFans, a social media platform that allows people to sell explicit photos of themselves, has boomed during the pandemic, but competition on the site means many won't earn much.
Right. So, Doc, what do you think of that? Miss Doctor, how do you think about it? What do you think about that?
I think that people have to do what they gotta do to make a living. And so, because I'm not in their situations, I have no room or space to judge them. And I wish them the best of luck because there really isn't a handbook right now for this pandemic and how to get through it. So however you feel like you got to get through it, do it safely. That's all I can say. You know, and understand that there's a consequence for everything that you do.
I respect hustles, man. Like you can say what you want, like if whatever a woman is doing, but I respect the hustler. And if you gonna go get it, if that's how you getting it, you gotta get it.
Yeah, as long as you can live with the consequences of whatever, and it's a take.
For sure. It ain't no difference than somebody going out there selling drugs and the consequences that comes with it.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
with the
Hey.
right- look, it is what it is.
Got
If
the
you getting your shit and you getting your shit legally.
Handle
get
it.
your shit.
Oh yeah, I'm not judging anybody. Right now, it's gonna be a while before shit gets back to normal. So
somebody asked me to go up there and helicopter for a couple dollars. I'm swinging this dick.
So when you guys started OnlyFans, is that what I'm hearing you say?
I've actually been in recruitment.
In talks.
I've actually been in recruitments for OnlyFans. And,
look,
Did you do it?
well, I have volumes of film already lined up, but
For free.
You have highlights.
yeah, for
Okay.
free. But we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, negotiate with someone to allow me to, you know what I'm saying, let us make some money off of this, because
Yeah.
this is right.
Okay, so the person that's in the video, you want to like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, there
Shit.
you go.
I'm like Thor right now. I have to find my worthiness.
Did you say
Like I cannot lift. Well, no, hold on. Let me make sure I say that the right way. I have to make sure. Woo. Anywho, now I don't know. I don't think I'm marketable yet. Ain't
You don't-
nobody trying to.
Why wouldn't you be marketable?
I don't think so yet. I just don't. No.
From
I
like,
ain't
is
there
it your
yet.
face or what are you trying to say?
Nah, I think I just need you know, some more villains to slay first.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
More villains to slay. What do you mean?
Villains to
He
slay.
has to find the right co-star.
Yes, co-star to slay on camera. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
But you got
But
offered,
you could,
right?
I'm saying you could move. You could have if it's your OnlyFans, you could have different co-stars.
I get it.
I just only want one co-star.
Right,
That's mine.
I get it, but yeah, you know, if you get one co-star, she has to be a very marketable
For
asset.
sure.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? You got to find your Scarlet or your Black Widow. You can't be out there with.
AJ, we don't need your disrespect. Whatever you're about to say was going to be rude as
I'm
hell.
getting ready to get out a notebook right
Whatever you're
now.
about to say was going to be rude as hell, and it was
It's
not
gonna be
rude.
rude, but it's gonna be real.
Look,
All
man.
right. All right, picking up from what we left off last week when it came to the Capitol riots. We didn't know too much, but Dr. T, I wanted to talk to you about the what you saw on last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And last week, AJ kept saying that all those people were a bunch of third generation inbreeds that didn't know nothing. But the truth came out that those people were very organized. They
That's what I was
had
telling them. They're
big
affluent.
bunch
Wait
of
a-
groups
no,
of different.
but-
And let me finish. Sir.
Go ahead, yeah,
You
go
did.
ahead.
You did call them this.
No, but you didn't.
Desplorables.
But if you didn't hear the
Sir?
sarcasm in my
No,
voice,
no, that
I was
no
being
sar- no,
when I
sir.
said thugs and hooligans.
No,
What was I referring that to?
Those
I know
people
what you're
had
talking
zip
about when you
ties.
said that.
They had bombs.
No, I get that, but we know that everybody who's a Trump supporter is not dumb stupid. But the point is, I was aiming at to the people that they were showing. We know that there are people in higher positions, but from what we saw, you seen a lot of fucking backward ass. But the reason why I said that is because those are the type of white people that truly represent what hooligans and thugs are, because they'll see
That's
they'll call
false.
it educate.
That's false.
That's
It's not-
false, AJ.
No, they are.
There are
point-
blue collar crimes.
Yes, we
People-
know that, but they are. But what I mean by thugs and hooligans, I'm just saying they will call an educated black man that shit, but they will not call a country backward, no teeth having ass white man that. They'll just say redneck or someone that is mentally challenged.
There was
And
lawyers.
enthusiasts.
There was.
Yeah, something like that. That's my whole point. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
That's all I'm saying. When I said that, I was being sarcastic,
Okay.
saying I want the world saw that black people, as a culture and as a race, we are not what we have been stereotyped throughout history. The world saw that. They was like, well, wait a minute. Black people were defending this nation, like that black security guard in the Capitol.
Eugene Goodman.
Yeah, he led them away. That's an American hero.
For sure.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
he-
he's getting all the praise.
He should.
Brian Hayes, dog. Brian Hayes.
Right.
He was a little bucking his eyes a little bit. The man was bucking his eyes a little bit. But he was scared for his life. Shout out to him.
No, yeah.
But
Hey, look,
but the white people are giving him so much praise because he ain't shoot nobody. If he shot somebody,
And that's what I said. Like
Yeah.
that's all that man had was fear because he knew he could not.
Amen.
He could not kill one of them white folks.
Exactly.
And it's like, dog. Now that they praising him, all we hear is motherfucking Samuel Jackson, who that nigga on the horse.
Exactly.
Right? You just be hating on
Right.
for no reason.
Exactly.
But guys, can you re-ask your question to our guest? And I want to ask you. And I want to tell you, if you don't feel comfortable answering any questions, because I know you have your own personal interests and personal business like relationship, just let us know.
Yes.
We'll get past it.
If you have a brand to protect, we were just talking about brands.
No, for real.
Yeah, I understand.
We're not trying to fuck up nobody's business.
Right.
Yes. So,
Okay.
what was your perspective on this whole situation?
I saw terrorists, plain and simple, but more importantly, what I saw was the contrast of why there's such a visceral response when black people do things like what we've seen, which is protests, versus to how calm everybody was for the most part, with white people going in and doing worse.
Doing worse shit.
Actually,
Yeah, factually.
the things that they told us that when we were looting, right, we were these animals, these monkeys, and I've never seen people climb up the Capitol before, but that's the closest thing to monkeyish behavior that I've ever seen before, and it wasn't anybody black. So I think for me, it was just disheartening. I was sad to see how acceptable it was. Like, these people literally got on a plane, then said that they were going to come to the Capitol, right? Took time off from work, whatever jobs that they were doing, got their PTO in order and everything, went, raided the Capitol, then left, and then got to get back on a plane to go back to work if that was their choice. Versus to a lot of the protesters that we saw in the Black Lives Matter movement, who either were struggling, didn't have jobs, or either at the very minimum, they were getting bullets in the head. And when we say bullets, not the rubber bullets, right? They wouldn't have made it an inch close to where a lot of these white people were. So it just always, and it's interesting too, because on the other contrast is that black people, we get this, oh my God, Black Lives Matter, why are we talking about this? Everybody's so uncomfortable. But then when we think about, like, okay, Trump and his tyranny, everybody is so comfortable with having this conversation.
Sure.
And they went back to business as normal, by the way. Versus to when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, businesses were shut down, nothing was functioning.
Look at all this business I've lost, all this money.
It was
What about my insurance?
Exactly. It was so crazy. So that was probably the worst part of it. I think for me, it honestly made me really upset. To be honest, that was my response.
I do want to ask you, since you are a clinical doctor, psychologist, what do you think? How do you think, like, psychologically, what psychological thing motivated these people to move in on the Capitol? Like, what do you think went through their heads?
Yeah, there's this thing called cognitive dissonance in the psychological world. And that means, in my mind, it's something different than what my actions say. In my mind, I'm not a racist, I'm not a monkey, I'm not a tyrannist, I don't believe in these things. I'm not ghetto, I'm not hood, I'm not a thug. But then the behavior part of it shows something different, where your mind is detached from your actions, and you're not even really getting that self-awareness. You're not even realizing that the same thing that you said just a moment ago, 3 months ago when we were protesting, that you hated, that you are actually exhibiting these things.
Can you say that word one more time? I gotta bring this up to my girlfriend. She be doing that shit.
Cognitive dissonance.
You are.
Oh my God.
You cogging out right now.
What was that second word?
Dissonance.
That sounds like synonym for medicinal. I'm sorry.
You acting like you're not crazy, but she is.
Oh no. But that's a whole nother, we gotta talk about that. So when you see these behaviors, it's just like, oh my God. So one, white privilege is real. So if no one knew what it was, or no one saw it or understood it, that's what we saw that happened was the definition in its rawest form of what white privilege looks like. White privilege is when you can, one, get met at the Capitol and not have the show of force that what we saw when the Black Lives Matter.
Couldn't even get close to the Capitol.
People are going to underestimate you as a threat. That's white privilege, right? So then, not only that, can you go in, can you damage things? Can you chase police officers around?
Steal shit.
I mean, steal things.
Take a selfie.
Put your feet up on the Speaker of the House's desk and then leave. Then leave. And that's the craziest part to me. So I think it's important for people to understand that white privilege is really real.
You good?
And I think we won't. Yeah, are you okay? Yeah. Okay.
Can you tie that? Do you think white privilege also can be also like a psychological superiority complex as well?
Absolutely. That's
That's
how
what it is.
that is exactly. I mean, the United States of America was built on white supremacy. You know, so when we look at it, and what we're seeing now is because there isn't an economy that needs black people to pick cotton anymore. We don't need black people to clean our toilets anymore or clean our babies. So now we have to find somewhere to put them. Because they're not of any use to us anymore. See, in the beginning, we needed you to pick cotton for us. We needed you to help us build our territory. But now we don't need you anymore. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put you in prisons. We're going to make sure that you're coked out. That was the first thing that they did. They tried to coke us out and give us drugs. But now we can't do that. Now you guys are getting educated. Now you want to be equal. So now it's time to find something else to do with you. Let's try to lock you up.
Part of the people there was some paramilitary, anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, a whole lot of people in that mix.
No, it was just a bunch of different groups.
Yeah.
And they were just like, yo. But this was like well planned because you saw them sweatshirts that they had on.
Yes.
Civil War, January 6th, 2021. Like this was planned.
And they had earpieces and everything.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember who said it, but they put in their PTO. Like,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers put in their vacation time for this. These niggas took their day. You said Sammy Davis, you funny as shit. You funny as shit.
He did like Sammy Davis.
He do got that 60s hair. Yo, but people were funny. He said that. He like, why you need our help? I can see. I would love to have him talk to the head of the FBI. Why you need our help? You got the technology. You got the shit.
So they
and Vlad are looking for assistance.
Vlad TV.
Vlad definitely was like, yo, if you were in the riots, man, hit me up.
Does he have cognitive dissonance? I need to know.
I don't have any opinions about Vlad. I think
Vlad
he's
is
an
a
interesting
wild
guy, though.
we got
You can talk about that off camera. I need that off camera.
we got Dr. T in the house. We got AJ Turnup, and we got Champagne Ron. I'm B More, aka Princess Amunda, and y'all, guess what? Leave us a like and a comment. It is free.
Please.
$3.99.
Please.
Did y'all know that Trump he won the most masculine man or
Snowflake.
he won that award or something like that. Let me see. Trump most masculine, and I think that's one of the reasons why he won, because people like that masculine stuff.
They view Trump as like a man's man.
Yeah.
You know, I can't view Trump doing anything manly.
And
I can't picture Trump doing anything.
I want to get to that when it comes to toxic masculinity and the rise of it, as I say. Do y'all think this Trump and this has something to do with this toxic masculinity that's going around?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay, let's let the doctor first.
Well, no, I want to hear what you guys have to say actually about this. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
We are black men from where we're from, so we know about toxic masculinity. The fun when you try to act hard for no reason, you try to just overdo your my whole situation this weekend was just
toxic masculinity.
Folks acting aggressive for no reason when they, for exactly no reason, just being overly masculine or trying to assert their masculinity over people that they didn't think had the energy that they was on. They were sadly mistaken.
Right. The loudest guy in the room. Just because I'm loud, meaning that I'm going to win the argument. The more assertive person. The guy that, you know, is got a beat on my chest so y'all know who's in charge over here. The one that's more flashier than everybody else. Like, you got to know, I got the Gucci, I got the bitches, I got the hoes, right? That guy. The guy that emotionally suppresses. I don't cry. I don't get upset. This is toxic masculinity, right? And it stems from depression and how we feel about ourselves. In the black community is like a whole big thing. So Trump completely not toxic masculinity or anything.
No,
I don't feel that.
No, he's just an elite racist.
What I think he is, I think Trump is a narcissist,
For
and
sure.
I think he's cultivated that personality by wealth. So that can make you can start to see the true character of a person. Then you have that white privilege. I can do whatever I want. We saw him the first time that he got impeached. He was not worried. He went to work per normal. This is a narcissist at its best. Then after he got impeached and then he lost, then he made everybody else feel like shit around him. Nancy Pelosi called everybody names. You see him going on the campaign trail as if nothing ever happened. This isn't a person that I would deem to or classify as like toxic masculinity. I think that he's just cultivated himself with a good circle, and having money has caused him to be able to feel like he can do whatever he wants when he wants to do it.
No repercussions.
I thought toxic masculinity, like one of the traits is like being a bully and never admitting when you're wrong, that type of stuff.
A narcissist. I think they can probably intertwine with each other,
okay.
but I'm not there with him because, again, I think I don't know him personally. I never had a conversation with the man, so I can't particularly say. What I can say is how he walks around and how he exhibits himself. There doesn't seem to be the cognitive dissonance part. I don't think when he goes to sleep that he really doesn't like who he is. I really think that he's created this image of himself. I think he really likes who he is. I think he's really okay with versus masculinity. For example, like there are a couple of like big name black guys that I talk to, and when they get around the crew or whatever, they're one way, but then when we have conversations in Dr. T's office, they really don't like who they are. And again, I don't know him personally, so maybe this could, I could be completely wrong and he could totally exhibit these signs, but I think he actually likes who he is and his personality.
He's making America great again.
He's making America great again.
Yeah, like
he literally believes this. And to the point to where he still is behaving like crazy. Like a person that doesn't like themselves just does not say anything. Like he's still talking. Like he's still saying like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. The election was... He really believes this.
Yeah, everything he says, he truly believes.
He truly
convinces
believes that.
his followers so that they believe it too.
So I don't think he's depressed. I don't think when he leaves the office he's gonna feel bad. I think he's gonna feel like he did great things for America, and I think that that's completely different. I think that again, cognitive dissonance, complete narcissism.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I agree with that. 1,000%.
In my opinion.
No, 1,000%.
I'll call him up.
You're more qualified.
And you said AJ,
toxic masculinity is a very subjective statement because you have
you don't think it's real?
It's definitely real, but there's also this other side of it where people don't hold themselves accountable to things, so they are blaming their actions for their results. And I'm sure you can understand this. It's like, okay, when you put yourself in the position. So I'll use this since we're talking about masculine things.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. If you're out there trapping and you get locked up, it can't be fuck the police. It's no, where's the accountability? You went out there doing something illegal. And you knew the consequences and repercussions that can occur. But you get what I'm saying though? They'll say, oh, that's police brutality. No, you were out there doing something illegal that's dangerous, and you're doing something that could put other people's lives at risk.
Okay.
So what I mean by toxic masculinity, it's okay to be a man. It's okay to be a heterosexual and profess that and claim that. It's okay to have a manly thing and to stand behind your words. It's okay to say, okay, I'm a heterosexual, I like women.
You could be a homosexual and still have...
Right, no, but my thing is though, a lot of people have said, oh, well, because of that, and if you don't agree with another thing, like if that person says, hey, I'm okay, I'm a heterosexual, I don't have anything against homosexuality or something, but I don't agree with it, then it's, oh, because he's toxic. And that's not, no. He stands behind a lot of, especially straight black men have been targeted for standing behind their beliefs, and then they get chastised or emasculated, or to the point where you don't know what a man is, and it's like, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go to Ron, but that was remind me of when Genuine was on a reality show and a gay dude was gonna give him a kiss,
a
transgender dude, and Genuine was like, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
And he was cool, but then social media came out to him.
Yeah, like I didn't see.
They calling him to saying you're being homophobic.
Right.
Ron, go ahead.
No,
but you see that they would say that's toxic masculinity, but that's not. He was not comfortable with that. You have a right not to be comfortable with certain things, but you can't get mad at somebody for standing behind. This is what I'm saying. Like, society now is literally contradicting themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. So this is okay, but you're mad because I stand behind this. And for me, I like to be logical and natural about shit. Like, there's just certain things where I go, you can force that shit all you want to, but nature and life is gonna say, eh.
Okay.
That's just how it is.
Like, this is something I posted last week, right? Pro-black, pro-brown, pro-weed, pro-gay, pro-choice, pro-chance, pro-ho. Because I am. Like, I don't care what you are. That don't got shit to do with me. Like if you're trans or if you're gay, cool. Like, we can still be cool. We can still be friends. We can still hang out. We can still talk. That don't got shit to do with me. Like, if you're a woman and you're deemed a hoe, you still my friend. Like, you can still be my homegirl. I don't got shit to do with me. Like
there it is.
Like, I just don't see how. But the thing that I don't like is when niggas be like, I ain't hanging around with faggot. Like, what the fuck does him having sex with a man got to do with him having a conversation with you?
Facts.
That shit is stupid to me.
Facts.
What the fuck? Like that shit just be stupid. Like, how the fuck can you get mad at this girl for being a hoe? And she ain't fuck you. Nigga, you ain't fuck, so how the fuck you got the right to call her a hoe? Like, like, that shit just be blowing.
Now that is toxic.
That shit just be
now
blowing.
that's toxic masculinity when one is trying to overlook a trauma and putting some tough shit behind it. Like,
Projecting.
Yes.
That's
like,
exactly what it is.
Like when
shit that you don't like
like
yourself.
because there's a lot of black young men who have been sexually molested when they were younger, especially in the South. I'm from Florida. And those men will tell those young men, damn, you got somebody like that, that's cool. When it's not. That is when you project when you're trying to replace a trauma for some man shit, that's stupid. That is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
When you're trying to overcompensate a trauma with something cool. That's when I go, okay, no, you on that bullshit. Like, it's not good to beat your wife. It's not good to you know. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, wait a minute. No, remember, back in the day.
But did you beat her?
Look,
Maybe I would have told her something.
hey, look.
No, but I didn't think about that.
Y'all niggas put the color purple when Harpo was dealing with Sophia and Mister was like, you ever beat her? She was like, wow. Nigga put a hate on his husband. You ain't slugging yet? What the fuck?
I think what he's trying to say is at one point, to be masculine in the black community was to be rough with your woman.
Right.
That shows that you were the leader of your home. At one point, that's what it was. To be the man of the house was the woman does what I tell her to do. The woman doesn't talk back to me, right?
Yes.
I'm the provider, the projector, and that's that. And you're
I
going to do what I say. And
Right.
so that was deemed as a man.
I was 8 years old when I was home in Tampa, and this man and his wife were arguing like a little bit. She just said something wasn't even necessary. Do you know what he did? He plucked her across the nose and said, "Shut up." Like, that's some shit that you. He literally just plucked her and was like,
Man, that's probably some shit they do around us like a pet.
he plucked her in front of people like, did you hear what I said? And nobody said anything. It got real
How old
quiet.
were you?
I was 8.
He was 8.
Man, you remember that?
Well, because that shit
It was
just,
so traumatic.
yeah, it
That
just,
was-
I just couldn't believe that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my dad would never do that to my mom.
And
Like,
nobody do nothing, huh?
nobody did shit.
I want to get on that.
They just,
I want to
they
get on
just
that.
sat there and was just like, motherfuckers look like my man. Have you ever seen Power? They
yeah.
look like the basketball nigga. Don't know nothing. Don't know nothing. Everybody just went.
Hey, fam.
That shit was crazy.
Have you ever been in public and seen any type of domestic violence? Anybody?
I have. It's just awkward. I turned into radio.
Did you do anything?
Got nothing to do. It was the woman was fucking him up.
Hey.
The woman was fucking him up. Don't help that brother. I'm not helping shit because I don't know the story. I have to know the facts. Hell, he might have deserved it, but she was like, "You ain't shit," and then I went, "You might not be shit."
I have seen it before. And you don't really know what to do. In our culture, we're taught to what?
Mind your business.
Mind your business. You're raised to mind your business. You don't get in people's business. You don't jump into anything. You keep it moving. Especially if you're from the hood. So no, you don't jump in. So it is that, but you feel like this is not right.
I gotta help this lady.
You know, something is wrong. So it's like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. So I think as an adult now, when I do see certain instances, I'm like, hey, stop. Hey, chill out. No, chill out. You know what I mean? Like,
why are you walking backwards?
No, I mean, I don't walk back. I'm not gonna record anything. I'm not one of them people that will stop and like, let me record the emotional or physical abuse. Like, I'm not that girl, and I'm not gonna run away either. I was just on the train. Now, it wasn't a man and a woman, but it was a man and a man. And I was on the train. I had to go downtown, and I saw a guy.
It wasn't gallery place, was it?
No. It was on the train towards going down to LaFont Plaza.
The red line?
It was the orange line. And the guy had got off the train, and I was like, oh, I knew today is going to be crazy. Like, this is going to be crazy. Because he got off the train, and he was talking to himself. And I'm like, okay, I hope he don't get back on the train. I guess he's leaving. So I'm on my way to get on the train. So then he jumps on the train. Now, he's in another car, so I made sure I didn't get in the same car with him. Right. But then he comes to the car where I was at the next stop. And so I'm like, fuck, like I hope, I'm not in the mood for this, and I'm not a morning person. There was another guy that was on the train. Okay, so then the guy, I don't know what happened. The guy was minding his business. The dude was being crazy. So the guy, I guess he was irritable. He was like, can you just get out my space or whatever, like 6 feet or whatever, right? So then the crazy guy starts wailing on this guy, like beating the brakes off of him. It's me, 2 guys on the last car of the train. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, this is not how I wanted to start my fucking morning. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I text the MPD and let them know, like, I'm on the train car? And the only thing, and he was fucking the dude up. The only thing that I could say was just like, I'm like, stop. I said, hey, y'all need to stop. Like, stop. Like, this is not okay. Hey, stop.
Did he stop?
Please, you're hurting him. So then he, like, looked up. I guess he wasn't really aware. And then I had spoken to him again. And I was like, hey, are you upset? Is that, then I got to go to my therapy book. Are you upset? Is everything okay? Like, do not put your hands on him. Like, tell me what's going on. But the thing that made me so mad about this was as soon as the train stopped, then the guy who was getting his ass whooped ran off the train and left me on the train with the crazy man. I was like so upset. It was just me. He didn't do anything to me. He didn't, but I'm okay. I can take care of myself. I'm good. But I just don't want to have to be a killer on any given day. You know what I'm saying? But I just was like, hey, you just started talking to him slow and not making him feel like he's crazy. And he was just mumbling. You could tell he had issues. I mean, I gave him my card. From a distance, I just threw it and I was like, here's my card, call me if you need somebody to talk to. And then I just got off the train, off the next stop. By the time the next stop was there, I was gone.
But you did the right thing.
But I thought that was crazy to me that the guy who was
he got his ass
he left me.
Look,
I mean,
I was before exit. If I'm getting my ass beat, I'm hoping this stops.
Look,
I'm telling the cops.
He's over there, officer, with his doctor with him too.
Right, Lord forbid if you taking the blue line to the Springfield Mall. That's a long ass whooping. That's just you gonna see lights in daytime.
His ass whooped. But through the grace of God, you was there to stop it. You expect this man to hear doors opening and to stay?
Yes, that's what I expected.
He would have been crazy.
I wanted him to be like, hey, come on, get off this
Nah.
He did right. Get the fuck out of there.
I'm like, I should have just let him beat your ass. He was fucked up.
Yeah, see, he was bleeding internally. He needed help. He didn't need your doctor if he did that. He needed a medic at that time.
You was the wrong time.
Right, you was the wrong type of doctor.
But it was like, what do I do? Do I stay and watch it? So it's the same, like going back to the domestic violence. Do you stay and you watch a woman getting beat up for a man?
That's a good question because Dr. Dre, how many times has like Dre hit his allegedly? He's in the news right now.
A lot
of times. No, so I'm saying like he was in the studio and then somebody's sitting there and he ended up hitting a woman. You don't do nothing. You just pressing those beats.
Yeah.
But while he beating somebody. But he's in the news right now. He's still in the hospital, you know, with his brain aneurysm, right?
Yes.
And apparently, and you know, during the divorce and all that stuff, the truth comes out. And apparently, Dre put a couple times, like, put his gun to his wife's head, beat her, knocked her down the steps. And it sounds familiar because Dre allegedly has a history of doing that to women, especially Michelle A. and a lot of other women. But
D Barnes or something.
I want to get to like this because this must have been happening over the years.
Yeah.
And how are we supposed to respect this dude and his music when we all knew that he was beating somebody? They put it in the movie, right?
For sure.
What movie?
The
NWA.
No, they didn't put none of that shit in there. Nothing about Dre's faults. Like,
you gotta remember that movie was run by two people,
Dre and Q. So it was from their
nothing bad of Dre and Q was in that movie.
Right, because in Eazy-E's family, they said the part where he was broke, it was like he had money because he was making money off of Dre's Chronic and Bone Thugs. So we'll never know. Winners tell the stories of history.
Yeah, but it doesn't mind that you love the West Coast and you love Dre. And
no, first of all, I love the music. The person I separate because I don't know these motherfuckers.
I've separated Kanye from the bullshit.
Yeah,
the only artist that I haven't separated from the music is Freaky Kales. Like, that's the only one that I can't do. But I have a great sense of separating the art from the artist.
Yeah,
and that comes to basketball. That comes to everything. I can separate the art from the artist, except for Freaky Kales.
Well, and I always, because if you're not if you're not there or in those people's lives, you will never necessarily 100% know the entire truth. Because what they also said about Michelle A. Remember, she had a baby by both Dre and Suge.
But I'm not gonna blame Michelle A. for Dr. Dre beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, if he did, then
it ain't no if he did. Dr. Dre,
I don't know. If he did,
you don't know, AJ. You're caping for him. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know.
Go ahead, get him.
Look. No, it's not even.
I'm gonna get him.
It's not even.
I'll get him.
It's not even about because I know Dre is AJ's man, so I'm not even going. No, it is because we've had these conversations about Diddy and Dre. Whenever I bring up some shit, you always go, you gotta put Dre in it. So look, because I know that's your man, so I'm not even going at Dre. I'm not going at you when I say things about Dre. I'm saying this man. It's been several accounts from different perspectives and from people that's close to him that are dads is his homie. Yeah. From people that are on his side of history that have said, yo.
Yeah, I know they've said like, yo, he beat the shit out of her. And
Dre punched that bitch.
Yeah,
or Dre slapped that bitch.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, and I get it, but I want to know. I want to answer your question. It can be an awkward situation because. We're saying this now, but there's certain motherfuckers where it's like, yo, what are you going to say? Like, you see Suge slap somebody. It ain't that many motherfuckers out there that's going to have the courage, especially at that time, or if dudes like that demeanor. Men, there's a difference between, as a woman, like the perfect example, you intervene. Because there's certain men out there, when a woman does intervene or say something, and certain things go, okay, that's a woman, I'm not going to engage in a threatening matter. But there's just certain things that men can't do that women can. Like, women can jump in Ron's face, he's going to move away. I can't do that. I can't jump in B Moore's face. They can't jump in my face. Men can't always intervene like against another man because that can mean life or death. That's just how it is. For a lot of times.
I asked y'all that question because me and Corey was somewhere and a woman and a dude mollywopped the woman, like mollywopped her, like just I'm talking like it was loud. And like I didn't even see it. Corey saw it, but I heard it and I was like, damn, like I thought somebody like I was like, yo, what the fuck? And Corey was just like, he was like, damn, she just got the shit slapped out of her. And we thought that was it. But then like dudes started like punching her and shit. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so then it was just like, alright, we gotta
of course, and that's a matter of saving one's life. But my thing is I don't ever want to be on the wrong side.
We gotta get to the ladies.
Yeah.
We gotta get the ladies' opinion, bro.
It's fine. I'm listening.
Oh, no,
I'm just very cautious. I just don't want to die over no bullshit.
No, I was gonna say because I feel like you always come to the man side.
No,
Like,
I go to both. I go to both sides, but at the same time, how many times in society do women get more questioned on that incident? It's like, okay, it's like this. If I know girls that date crazy ass, slappy happy trigger niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? Why are you because you ain't gonna defend yourself. You gonna call another man to fix that situation, and then not realizing you're putting him in harm's way. And let's say even if I do succeed, I kill this nigga, then I catch a charge. Then what?
Just to prove something?
Just to prove something. Then my life is thrown away, and you might go out there and get a same replica of that same type of nigga.
And the signs,
then I'm stupid.
The signs was there in the beginning that he was crazy.
That's my point.
So I think a good segue to that is talking about some of these toxic behaviors or whatever. I think we got to talk about why we date.
Yes.
You know, why do we date to begin with? It's always one or two things. Either I'm a secure person wanting another secure person and I want to be able to share my life with you. Or it's the other thing. I really don't like myself. I really hate the things that are around me. I hate my upbringing. I hate that I don't get along with my family. I hate that every relationship that I've ever been in never worked. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get into another relationship because this distracts me from dealing with myself, the things that I don't like about myself. And so typically when people do that second part, right, I'm going to date you as a distraction. That is when we start to get into the toxic behavior and the toxic relationships.
Gee, that was me.
Like the loneliness, the depression,
my God.
all of that part invokes you to say, how can I cope with this? Well, the easiest way for me to cope with it is, let me go out here and let me have sex with whatever different woman I want to have sex with on whatever.
And the first girl to say you love him.
What?
It all goes back to unmet. So what you're saying is a good point. Unmet needs.
Wow,
whatever happens as a child to you and how you're upbringing as a child is going to always come out in your relationship. So a woman who's been criticized by her mama, who has always been like they've always been at odds since they were children. My mama never liked me. What's going to happen is when she becomes an adult, she becomes older, she's going to be the over-controlling, overbearing woman to deal with. And you're like, damn, where you get all of that from? And she's also going to want to always seek validation. Every time you turn around, she's talking about her insecurities and wants you to validate them for her. The man that doesn't get the secured manhood from his father, doesn't have a good relationship with his mother. Typically, these are going to be the men that rush the relationship way faster than what it should be going, or they're going to be the man that dogs women out every chance that they get. So you got to watch when your upbringing, and we don't start studying how we grew up and the things that we didn't get from our parents that we should have gotten. That typically is going to be whether or not our relationships are going to be successful or they're going to come to a doom end. So it's important. And so if I don't like myself as a woman, what's going to happen is I'm going to end up attracting that in a man, right? And so it's okay that he beats me. It's okay. Sorry that he beats me. This is the most attention that I've ever gotten from someone. No one's ever made me feel. My father, he never made me feel like he loved me. I was raped by my uncle. I was abused by this person or that person, the guy down the street. So when I meet a man who, you know, he's somewhat kind of decent to me, but I'm going to go to what I know. And so I'm going to attract that energy. And he whoops my ass. And this is the same thing that I dealt with growing up. And this is all that I know. So this is what I'm going to be with. And so until she changes something about herself, and she starts doing this self thing like, hey, I was abused. Let me talk about it. I was hurt. My parents, they never were there for me. All I saw was my mom go in and out of different dudes' houses. This is all that I'm used to. She doesn't ever talk about these things. They're going to seep out one way or the other. And typically that's in the relationships that she gravitates to. So that's important to know. I mean, people have got the black community, because there is a huge crisis right now between the black woman and the black man.
For sure.
That's all we see.
That's
it's the battle of, it's the versus.
I'm so happy that you just said that, because as Brian said earlier, how I'm not even trying to get on my man because I love him to death, but about how Brian was saying how AJ always goes towards the man point of view. I literally said that same thing you just said about how women go to what they've been through and what they know, and he was just like, And AJ just flat out just threw it out the window, like fuck that.
No,
look at these niggas. She should know not to deal with these niggas.
I'm not saying no.
You saying she should know not to deal with these niggas?
Yeah.
But these are the niggas that she knows. These are the niggas that bring to her life what she's experiencing, what she's used to, or what she believes is what love is. But
now, Doc, this is what I was trying to explain to you. We get that part. That's the shit we know. That's just common sense. When people come up from a shitty upbringing, I understand that. It's the people that had that security, that had stability, that want to go against the grain. That's what pisses me off. I go, you know what type of you had a good father. Why are you going for a perception that you saw on TV, or it's something? Just because something different doesn't mean it's good.
That's true.
That is my issue. That's why I say, and then you can see as society, when a man is on his luck, down on his luck, and he's fucked up, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Take it like a man. You gotta get up and walk.
Who in society
typically are they going to say, okay, if you out there homeless, who they gonna feel sorry for more, the man or the woman?
The woman.
That's all I'm saying. And now, I'm just talking about from a logical, statistical standpoint, right? But my point is though, that's why I always revert back to that, because I look at both sides. Like I just told you, I hate fuck niggas. I don't like that shit because I don't want people. My thing is, if you see the signs already, why go to them?
Well, it's a couple of different reasons why people do that. Number one, I think we advance sex way sooner than we should in relationships, and I think, or at least dating or whatever, because you could see the signs. I could know for a fact this weed head ass dude, he's an abuser. He's so aggressive with me.
I was just saying that earlier today.
He's so aggressive, and the curiosity in me wants to kind of figure out what's going on with him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The little kid, the little girl in me, the girl that's never had, the little girl that never had anything like that. The little girl
That's why it's so fun in the beginning.
The mom who says you don't date guys like that. You know, when you tell a child not to touch the stove, what are they going to do? They're going to touch the stove. So the little girl in me is going to say, I think I want to try that out. And then when I try that out, well, he's not that bad.
Now you got to call your older brothers. Now we got to come fuck this nigga.
Well, see, and that's
I
what I'm
can
saying.
accept a little bit of his abuse.
And you know what? I agree. I think, but see, I was raised a little different. I was raised, look, deal with the you do this is the consequences that are most likely going to happen. Yeah. So I always was like, yeah, I'm not rocking with that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these niggas out here stealing. I'm not rocking with that. I don't want to catch records.
But I'm trying to say, like, it's fun in the beginning, like the toxic shit.
Yeah.
The not thinking, trying to make the other person jealous. That's in the beginning.
It'll be fun to me, right? It's not fun.
I'm not gonna text them right now. I'm not like I'm.
That's just playing fucking games.
That's
just playing games.
Okay, all right.
See, the playing jealous, to me, for the most part, that's a big ass gamble, and I'm scared because if you don't give a shit already and I try and you know, then it's really gonna look bad. Like a chick will be like, nigga.
I'm not talking about current Ron, because 30-year-old Ron, I'm not playing these games. But it's like 26, like 24. But I was like really on games, like on bullshit. But I thought I was like the end all be all. Man, it was like some of the most toxic shit ever. Like, and I look back on those days, I just be like, yo, why would I even put this girl through that type of shit?
Yeah.
Why would you put?
Yeah, because it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Emotional intelligence is a real thing.
For sure.
You know, so you gotta be emotionally intelligent and self-aware. If you're not emotional, you can see someone who is like 43, but in their emotional intelligence, they're really like 12 or 15. And so you gotta pay attention to those things, because women are like that too. You can see a woman,
Are you writing this down, dude?
she is bad, okay? A gorgeous looking woman. But she has a mind of a 16-year-old.
That's not for the action women.
She's 30-something years old.
So he cannot any shot at women they can take, he gonna take it. It's like, okay.
Yo, listen. Usually when that happens, the other guest says, "Who hurt you?"
Yeah.
They said to him.
Because she's a doctor.
AJ, do you want to lay down on this?
Maybe we need to talk a little bit.
Hey.
But I think, you know, I think to his point, I think you're an awesome guy. I think you're interested. Are you in a relationship though?
No,
He hasn't been in a relationship in 20 years.
How long has it been since you've been in a relationship?
No, college. College is not been 5 years. No. You lying.
Listen. Wait, you guys can't take away his experience. So 5 years. So 5 years ago you was
No, man, no. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Jesus.
All right.
College.
Let me.
We 45 years.
What happened 5 years ago? So what happened? Why y'all break up?
My feelings are hurt.
Okay. Yeah, he shut down now. He shut down.
This toxic masculinity.
That was very toxic right there.
You ain't got no feelings, bro. You ain't got no feelings.
No.
Now, my last relationship, it didn't work out.
Because?
She wanted to be with somebody else.
Okay.
She cheated.
All right. Did that hurt?
Yes, because of the circumstances.
Okay. All right. That explains everything that I need to know
Thank
as to where the shots come from.
Yes.
What shots? What do you mean?
The shot that he be
jabs.
taking.
Oh.
Jabs.
And all women.
I take jabs at dudes too, though.
No,
I believe
No,
that.
I already, as a man, I already know, like, okay, bitch nigga shit. Like,
No,
I'm the type where it's like, yo, men, like, if you do bitch shit, I call it out too. But first of all, I'm going to talk about women more because I date women. I don't date dudes, so I'm not going to have the same kind of emotional, like, you know, mindset of a woman. I'm not about to be like, oh, fuck yeah, niggas every day, because that's not, I'm a heterosexual male.
But you know what I think is interesting, and I think my personality in terms of how I feel about this and how we can make changes within the black community, I do think that black men need to have conversations with more black men about black men's behavior. I don't think it's okay for a black man to tell black women what they need to be doing and how they need to be doing. I think that, and I don't think it's okay for a black woman to say or suggest, oh, well, this is how black men need to behave. And you need to act like this. So I do think that there needs to be more conversations where black men are giving advice to other black men about good black behaviors that we can institute in our relationships. And the same with black women, as opposed to it always being a dog, you know, kind of culture. Like, let me dog out this black woman. Let me talk about this black man and how black men ain't shit. I don't think that that's the right way of going about it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Man, black men, I say one of the biggest things we need to really reevaluate is honor.
Yeah.
We don't really know the honor because a lot of the black men, because of violence, gangs, and shit like that, or whatever negative stuff, they're either in jail, dead, or they're wanderers. So these young future black men don't know what it's like to be an honorable man.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to be faithful to that one woman and to honor the woman for who she is. As you know, that's your queen. That's your, you know, that you need to show her respect. So yes, there's a lot of black men that don't know. Like you said, sometimes you just need an OG to slap you upside the head and be like, yo, treat her right.
Yeah. Exactly, and I tell people a lot of times, like, because I hear this whole, like, we're kings and we're queens, and I'm like, all right, cool, but y'all are acting like court jesters.
Exactly.
I want you guys to not act like fools. Where's your crown? And I have to remind men of that all of the time, and women too. Like, get yourself together, queen, because you're not carrying yourself the way that you should be right now. You're acting all kinds of crazy out here on this social media.
We gotta start checking each other.
Exactly, but in love, that's the most important thing. In love,
it takes time and maturity, because I remember when we were younger and I was married the first time, and we would hang out at night, and AJ would say, "Come on, you gonna fuck that bitch? Come on, you gonna fuck that bitch?" And then you know,
then you gonna fuck that bitch.
We gonna fuck the bitch. So we gonna talk about supporting our friends.
Wow, damn.
We're gonna talk about supporting our friends and being a good support system.
Can you check my back? I got shot. Like, hey, do you see?
Let me pull this back out.
Hold on, I know you a doctor. You have to take some type of medical stuff.
We're talking about.
Is this a wound?
We're talking about toxic friendships, right?
yeah, let's talk about it.
Toxic and biased support.
Okay.
Can we get to that video?
Man, I don't even want.
Can we get to that video? I want the doctor to see that video.
Okay, you gonna set it up first?
About bias. Okay, bias support from friends that can be toxic. So basically, let's say you got two friends. One friend, they both have certain aspirations that are very that's hard to get to. you support one, but then you shit on the other one. Not doubt. Doubt is one thing, because you know, like you said, you can say, hey, you might want to reconfigure your dream, but you literally go, this fucking dude is illusional, or this girl, this bitch is crazy. She ain't gonna get nowhere with this. She wanna be a model. How she gonna be a model and she's a 2? But the other girl, well, I wanna open my business. Girl, you got it. You good. You smart with this shit. That's what I'm saying. Like biased support.
Okay.
Like, and that can be toxic. But it's like, okay, every time this person is still, that other person that you're shitting on is still trying though, but you won't give them support or respect their grind.
Okay, let's take all of that out and let's talk about the real issue here. The real issue, what you just said, is that we have an effective communication issue. That's it. Is the person could be a 2, and you know, and then there's the other one who, I guess, if they're a model and they're a 10 and they want to do it. Now we're not effectively communicating with each other. So as a friend, first and foremost, you got to know, trust, and love, you know, that other person, and that other person needs to know that, you know, it's coming from a good place. But maybe the conversation may not necessarily be like, bitch, you can't be no model, use a fucking. And if I had an overweight friend that was plus size and she wants to be a model, and I'm like, oh, that's not really a great market to be in because it's hard to be a plus size model, with all these things. But as opposed to discouraging her, I would ask her what her reasons were behind why she wanted to do it, and then say, I support you, but do you understand, do you know what the challenges are out here? Do you understand that? And as long as she understands, it's asking the questions, right? It's not for us to insert our unsolicited opinions. So a lot of times what I do when I have conversations with people, I just ask questions. I say, hey, first of all, do you want my advice? Do you want me to tell you how I feel about it?
Right.
Yes or no? And if they say, oh, I'm just really looking for support, I support you.
Or how about you always hating?
Yeah. All right. So.
Go out to Oakland, work on this music thing.
Sorry, man. You know all that.
Fuck you, bitch. I mean, why you always got something negative to say, man? At least the nigga being creative.
Fuck, he ain't creative. I'm creative, right?
What you do?
The dress.
That's just like a nigga to down talk another motherfucker because he trying and you ain't. You ain't shit.
That's what I mean. Like, did you see like Chicago's hate? It's like you're talking all this shit, but what my man Pac said, he said, well, "What you do?" And he came back with the driest shit. I can dress. And he said the realest shit. That's just like another motherfucker to down talk somebody who is trying.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people hate to see someone else try because of their own insecurities.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say this is that what I saw was projection there.
Yeah, that's
I'm projecting, so this person is doing better than me and maybe taking an avenue that I may want to pursue or whatever. And no one's talking about me, but I'm just going to include and insert that maybe, you know, at the very minimum, like they ain't doing shit like what I'm doing because at the very minimum, he ain't nobody. But that's me projecting my own insecurities onto somebody else. And so we do that a lot.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When it comes to friendships, that shit happens. I've seen it, been through it, experienced. So it's like one person could say, oh, well, he's doing this, but that person is trying. But the first thing that come out of their mouths is, well, he never had this, or she was never this or never that. My thing is, I had a very close friend ask one of our mutual friends this same question. He said, okay, do you understand what this person is doing to prepare for this? Do you know what he's doing to get himself to that? He's sacrificing a lot of things. He's like, would you do it? And that person said no. And you were like, well, then shut the fuck up then. How dare you go and talk about somebody? And then they were like, well, if he would have made it or in this or he would have done this, it would have happened already. And once again, my friend said, well, how do you know that he had the same opportunity to get where you're talking about? What if he didn't?
The better question would have been, why do you feel like that? Like, where is this coming from? Right? So then just going back to the effectively communicating, and sometimes we just we get so defensive, everybody gets so defensive or whatever, but clearly when a person inserts their own projections, that means they want some attention, they want somebody to talk to, they want to be able to vent whatever it is that they got going on. So a lot of times we get so in the moment of trying to prove our point, and then that's the masculine thing, right? We're so in the moment, I want to prove my point that I don't care to seek understanding. But if you're my friend, I would want to understand what you're like. Now we gotta stop because we got a bigger issue. Because now we got this hate thing going on. So where's this coming from? What's up? What was you?
You want to talk about hate and being defensive? This has something to do with Ron because he's into that type of stuff.
He gave me the nigga. Where you going with this? This better be good.
Walk with me. Okay. All right.
Got his shoes on.
So we're talking about projecting and being toxic around each other. And what I'm seeing about this King Von's sister fighting Cuban Doll, and people are promoting in different outlets and social media are reposting the fight. And I thought we got white supremacists in the Capitol right now. They trying to blow up shit, trying to kill us. And we twerking and we fighting each other over a dead man. But did y'all see this video? I'm gonna show you.
He wasn't fighting over a dead man.
Over clout chasing. What was it? But you want to show it? Let's see. You want to talk about it before we show it?
What year was he talking about?
It was a 22 and a 23-year-old fighting. Like,
there's nothing to see here. Young motherfuckers fighting.
It's these ain't 27, 28, like
these
grown. These, like, even though at 20 I thought I was grown, 21 I thought I was grown, I was still a child. Like, I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was 21. So like I didn't like these are children.
Oh, this one I'm trying to find her.
But you can hear it in her voice.
Yes.
These are children.
Oh,
And it wasn't over Vaughn.
We used to fight the old lady.
But why are you fighting?
It's on my phone.
And have people around
because they got into an argument on social media. And then they met somewhere and they started fighting.
Yeah, that's just young. That's young shit. That's just young head shit.
But we have like a whole culture of this, like.
I mean, that's a whole nother top kind of.
And
like,
we're talking about toxic stuff and the music and.
No, but toxic friendship. Yeah, that's totally. Yeah, what we're talking about is what we just said. That would be like, okay, perfect example. That would be like if Ron wanted to be a rapper and I wanted to be a fucking architect or some shit. And
how come they couldn't talk about it? How come they couldn't talk about it?
Well, one, because we're not taught. First of all, like. Communication or communicating effectively is a skill set that needs to be taught in the household.
Sure.
Most black communities, we're not teaching our kids how to have conversations. What are we saying? When you feel like you're meeting aggression, what do? Somebody hits you, you hit them back. Right? You know what I'm saying? Somebody say something about you, what you do? You say something back. You don't seek understanding. You know, that's not something that we teach our children. We don't teach our children emotional intelligence. We teach them survival, self-preservation.
I will say I do teach Trey to walk away, but if somebody hit him, like if somebody talking crazy,
pick up a brick.
If somebody talking crazy, just go ahead.
Knocked on.
But if somebody touches you,
that's
defense.
I tell
you're
Trey,
supposed to.
If somebody is talking crazy, just let them talk. Even though maybe you was snitching, if somebody's talking crazy, if somebody's stopping you from doing what you're supposed to be doing in school, go tell somebody. But once somebody touches you, because Trey is big for his age, so he don't be like he doesn't want to hit kids because they're smaller. I'd be like, yo, if somebody hit you, you better. I'm like, don't let nobody hit you, G.
As long as he don't got no friends around that's hyping them up like those girls was, or just being around.
No, and I know what he's saying. What he's trying to say is the friends that hype you up to do the most ignorant shit. Yeah. I don't approve of that. Like, yeah, you want to have you always want to have that friend that says, "Hey, let's get away from this." I don't want someone to throw me into the fire because once again, I don't ever want to have to do anything violent unless I have to. But if you got that one friend that's saying, "No, fuck all that, let's just go ahead," that's what I mean by toxic. It's like, yo,
let's do it.
You got that, you got that one friend that's always getting you into shit instead of getting you out of it.
Yeah.
But that's why I say there's different types. That's why I was like bias support, because I've seen where people support, like I've seen where dudes support other dudes for certain shit, and they think, oh well, he's making it, so I'm gonna rock with him. But the other person, you're Now, doubting is one thing, like I said, but when you completely just talk shit behind their back, saying they're a joke or this and that, and instead, like you said, I always go, well, damn, have you helped this person? Have you tried to at least, you know, be like, hey, well, why are you doing this? And if so, maybe I can help you. Or especially if you have the connections to help them and maybe what we're going for.
Yeah, I'm only going to have a couple of conversations with a person. And then after that, I'm going to say this is just pretty much who you are and you need to seek help. And that's beyond what I'm capable of giving you at this moment. And I have to separate myself from you. You know what I mean? So at some point, the same way we outgrow each other in relationships, that also is inclusive to friendships.
For sure.
So if I'm at a different level emotionally, my intelligence level is different than yours, and you're not getting it, and you're not picking up on the social cues of it, then that means I need to separate myself from you. We're no longer going to be able to sustain in this relationship. And so the same with the toxic relationship that you have with a woman, it's the same that you have with your peer group. If somebody's just not there with you mentally, then it's time for you to let them go. If it's one too many like little jabs, passive aggressive jabs, or talking shit about people and we've had conversations about it and you're still not grasping it, that means I'm outgrowing you and you can't any longer be in my space. And you want, and for real, what I tell my son, I tell my brothers growing up in the hood, you want to watch out for people like that, because those are the guys that will sink the ship just because they can't be the captain. Those are the ones that will kill you because they're so jealous and envious.
Agents of chaos.
So, exactly. And so, typically what I tell people is like, hey, I'll give a person the benefit of the doubt. I'll educate you maybe once or twice. I'll do a little psych session with you one-on-one and whatever. And then after that, if you still hating, you still being negative, you still talking shit or whatever, then that means I've outgrown you, because life is too big and I got way more important shit to do than to be talking about people. Period. Everybody in my circle, successful. That's it. And the way that we motivate each other, sometimes it is competition. That's like,
sure.
You know, girl, how much you make last year?
Look,
you know, what you doing?
That's a must.
But that's the way that we tend to, you know, kind of like promote each other to do better, because we know we can't come to this space without, you know, you can't bring another baby to the space without saying, okay, well, what else is you bringing other than all the damn kids? Because I can't be godmommy to all your damn kids and all of your drama. Like, what else you got going on? So you're going to bring us 5 kids to the mix, tell us that you got these businesses, you got this education, something that's going for you. So my point to that with the toxic relationships and toxic friendships is essentially sometimes we just outgrow people, and it's okay, and it's all right, and I gotta slowly but surely let you go.
But what if you already in a situation and you got a baby and there's this meme.
Are we back on relationships now?
Well, we got 6 minutes left. You have any questions for it before I get to the thing?
I feel like we've discussed everything. Yeah, that I planned on discussing. Yeah.
All right.
Like, okay, well.
So look, right? Let's say, like, hypothetically, me and the young lady were, you know, we were like, you know, 2020 was like a rough year, right? It was rough, right? So couldn't do a lot of the things that we had planned on doing. She was affected, like, job-wise by everything. But 2021, you know what I'm saying, we're trying to do a lot of things, but she feels as though we were behind on our relationship, or we didn't do enough. We've been together long enough that we didn't do enough in the time frame. I don't know if that makes sense yet. Like, y'all feel what I'm saying? Like,
I was playing.
So what, as a man, how would I make her, like, feel like, yo, no, I'm still here. It's just the fucking world will shut down.
Yeah, I would just ask her, where is she getting the comparison from?
Social media.
I would just say, hey, babe, like, where are you getting that we behind? Like, where did you get that from? And shift her thinking a little bit. Like, where did you get that? And she might say, well, because social media, or so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so did da-da-da-da-da. And then I would then just transpose and say, you know, I think we're working on our own little wave right now.
So don't got these babies.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we're okay in our relationship right now.
Sure.
And I'm here, and I'm going to be here with you. And whatever it is that you want to do when all of this clears up, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. But we're not against anybody's clock right now. This is you and our time and you and our moment. Like, I would say something to the gist of that, just to give her that reassurance, because that's what we need to hear. We need to hear that
I'm plagiarizing that exactly.
we're on the right track. And then that turn when you say stuff like that, be like, hey, babe. You know, so that those women need reassurance. And we don't want a soft guy. We want a strong guy who knows how to talk to us in a soft way. There's a difference. I want a strong guy who knows exactly the direction he wants to take me in. He's masculine, he's assertive, the toxic masculine, he's all of that. But when I talk to him, I want to know that I feel safe. I'm not feeling too anxious. I know that we're going in the right direction. I'm not doing too much. He brings me back. He composes me. Women want the person that's going to bring them back, because we get to thinking all kinds of crazy things.
For sure.
And we want him to be like, baby, I got you. I got you. I'm here. I got you. And so those words, those little words, mean a lot in the most sincerest form.
What if she's making more than you?
Oh God. Well, typically the woman that makes more than a man, I mean, you got to talk about those things. These are things that we need to be talking about in dating, though, that we don't talk about. We got to talk about the gender norms. So it's always important for women. I always tell women this: if you're going to be dating someone and they may make less than you, you need to give informed consent. Let a man know what you expect him to bring to the table. We work off of assumptions. We assume that just because he makes this and I make
You gonna be
this.
at the dinner? You gonna be at the dinner at the table? She's saying everything. Just
No.
Yeah.
You know, y'all know damn well there are spaces and conversations for conversations to be had. Maybe not necessarily the first date, but it's easy ways to say, like, so, you know, I make more than you. Does that bother you? As a man, does it bother you? And he'll say, no, it doesn't bother me. I'm okay. And she'll say, and then he'll say, well, does it bother you? It will. If we get into a situation where I'm always paying.
Or she's saying my money. I'm like, no, it's our money, baby. Right?
But one exercise that I do for couples, which I do want to say this, I call
You a wild nigga for that, G.
I call this the word breakers. So in relationships, we have deal breakers. Okay, this is one technique that I'm giving y'all for free 99.
For sure.
Okay,
I'm writing this one.
I want you guys to try this out.
Thank
So
you.
in relationships, we know deal breakers are what? If you lie to me, if you cheat on me, girl, I ain't never. You know, we have these little things that we say.
Right.
But the things that typically cause us to end up getting into these harmful relationships and we break up is not the deal breakers, it's the word breakers. It's the things we say. So I need to know what your triggers are. So wifey, what words do I use that cause you to get upset? What is it that I do? And so I have my couples write down 5 things apiece. What are the 5 things that I do that trigger you, that get you upset? The words. For some men, when we're in an argument, babe, when you call me a bitch ass nigga, that bothers me. I never forget that. I don't like that. That is a word breaker.
I don't like boy.
I don't like boy. Well, and then we talk about where these things come from. And for a woman, it may be, babe, when you say bitch, when you call me a bitch when you're mad, because sometimes it comes out. Sometimes people, sometimes it does come out. When you're really mad, I mean, when you're really firm and she takes you there, sometimes you're like, bitch, or you like getting ready to say it.
That's when you run out like that man that got beat up in that train station.
Right, you got to go. You know, or for a man, when a woman is overbearing, like, babe, you know what? Maybe it's not the words. Maybe you don't have to remind me 2 or 3 times. I'm not a child. So when you do that, it triggers me. It makes me upset. Those are word breakers. And so I have my couples do this so that way you guys can understand each other's triggers, because just as we need to know each other's love language, everybody's talking about love languages and shit.
What's your love language?
What's your love language?
I like gifts.
No, scrap that. I don't care about the love language. I can figure all of that out. Anybody can do the love language thing. But can I deal with you with your triggers?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I need you guys, you know, to definitely promote that, because at the very end of the day,
Word breakers.
the word breakers. And the last thing is, you got to be able, when you're dating, can you accept the person for who they are as they are? As if they would never, if they never change anything, can you accept them as they are? And if you cannot, then it's time to roll. Because we think we're going to build a bear, build a nigga, build a bitch. And we can't do that. So can I accept him as he is? He smoke a lot of weed. He don't take baths every day.
Kind of,
You know, but people don't.
I knew he ain't had no money.
I knew he ain't had no money.
I walked in, he just got a mattress on the floor.
I saw it, yeah. He talks to, when you got kids and you're trying to blend the household, oh, his kids do whatever they want to do, or her kids all over the damn place. Can I deal with this person?
He double tapping too many IG stories. Shit.
He always online.
Yes.
Well, that's tough because the kids, you don't know how it happened. You don't know. You can't take the kids until you're actually with the kids, right?
Well, no, you can always listen. See, one thing about me, so I am a big proponent of paying attention. So if you're on the phone and you hear a man, he just so happens to pick up the phone while he's with his kid and he's yelling at her, cussing her out, or he's being too stern or whatever, that is a sign. You need to listen, okay? Or if he says, you know what, I'm not really worried about my kids. Or if the girl says, yeah, they do homework from time to time. My son don't have to do it, because what happens is we need to have those conversations about how our kids play roles. For a woman, if she has a boy, she elevates the boy to be the man of the house if she doesn't have a man. For the man, he may elevate his daughter to be like the woman, the everything. And so then when we get into these relationships, then it's like, okay, then this new person comes in and now you got the little Ray who's only 9 years old trying like pump fake on a man, so we got to be able to have these conversations. Absolutely. This is all, paying attention is super important. I tell people, pay attention. Don't just pay attention to how they look. Don't pay attention to all of this surface shit. Pay attention to their values. Most importantly, pay attention to their backgrounds. Listen, if a person has a big family who's always in and out, and you have a small family and you don't like people coming over, that's going to be an issue for y'all. So y'all need to talk about that, because some people don't like that. Some women get into a relationship and they expect it to be all about me. But you know what? His cousin Ray come over all the time, uninvited, and I don't like that. And why they always over here? Why your mama always here? You got to talk about these things. So I will leave you guys to that. Those are my little tips.
Shit, that's love.
Yes, thank you.
Love. Like,
I wanted to ask you, it might not be free 99, but I'll give you a couple quarters.
Okay.
How do you, if you had to give advice for men and women, how to be completely honest when people ask questions and not stall? Like, if someone professes a certain type of feeling for you, how would you tell both genders to be honest, be direct, but you don't have to be cruel?
Yeah.
So both parties can at least lead with respect.
Yeah, give me an example.
Okay, so let's say if a girl really likes a guy, and she asks him these questions, and he beats around the bush. He goes, oh yeah, we're really cool. I appreciate how you feel about me, even though we don't hang out that much. But she's always trying to say, hey, if you feel me or not, just say so. And he never truly gets around because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's like one of those where, let's say a guy asks a woman, hey, are you really happy in this relationship with this man? And she goes, well, I'm just enjoying the ride.
Sorry, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm just enjoying the ride. No, not in that way. Like, she's just like, I'm just enjoying this relationship until it lasts. And he really wants to be like, well, shit, like, why would you want to be in that? Like, that's what I mean. Like, how is it that both genders can be honest without being mean?
Everything starts with, again, informed consent. So in the beginning, I need to be honest and say, hey, look, I'm dating more than one person right now and I'm not ready to be in a relationship. And what we're watching is a very selfish culture. So people will want a piece of you, even if they can see that you're not all the way 100% it. I'd rather just get a piece of you just to say I had you. And so you got to be mindful and be open and say and give people expectations and set it all of the time. So from the beginning, hey, I'm just looking for a friend right now. But if you do find yourself to be in that situation, you got to be honest, informed consent. You got to let people know where you stand. Hey, this is going to be unfortunate, but I don't foresee us going anywhere right now. I'm not in a place right now where I can be in a relationship.
Gotcha.
Or for the woman, I'm not there right now.
To the streets.
Dr. T, you got a sweep, because you sweeping up Ronald's closet right now. Man, you got those skeletons in the bar.
Pet Cemetery.
Thank you guys so
we
much.
appreciate you so much.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank
You
you.
are amazing.
Can you give us your Instagram and where people can reach you?
Yes, so I have a website, www.rochellemthompson.com. I am also starting my nonprofit, which is called the Black Voice Project. So please check it out, www.theblackvoiceproject.com. Instagram, The Black Voice Project, DMV. And Instagram for me personally, it's Dr. DOCTOR R Thompson. So you guys can reach me there.
That is
All right.
beautiful.
Any events or any Zooms or anything you got?
So yes, I'm working on right now with the Black Voice Project, which is for mental health for the Black community, so we no longer have to suffer in silence. So I will be starting up my Better series. So the Better series is going to have several different topics. One of them is toxic relationships. So I'm going to give people tips, tools, and talk to my different women and men about these things that we come up with, like what we talked about today, right? We're going to talk about depression, demystify. What is it? What does it look like? What does it look like for Black people? You know, have you ever you weren't even normal and everybody around you didn't even know it? You had to suffer in silence. And so we're going to talk about those things. So yes, I have a lot of stuff coming up. So just please check out and subscribe to my website so then you can get regular updates.
Excellent. We will.
This is love, man. Like for real, this is one of my favorite episodes. So like,
I should have laid down on this one.
no, because you needed it right here.
Oh my
I
God.
love you, cuz you needed it.
All right, we are out. I'm Be More